Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your 2019 energy forecast slash, what did I call it? Soul forecast or soul scope. I think soul scope rolls off the tongue better. But anywho, we're going to take a gander at the overall energies that you guys, wow, my table suddenly got slippery, that you guys will be encountering or may encounter in 2019. I'm using only the major arcana. This deck is specifically made for, just major arcana cards. And we're going to take a look at what spiritual lessons you guys will encounter, what subconscious influences will be at play, as well as things that will be coming into your awareness in 2019. So if we have not met, I'm Princess India. Welcome to my channel. Please be sure to subscribe if you feel led to. And if you're already subscribed, be sure to hit the notification button because we have you guys January reads that are coming out after this. And everything that you need to know is in the description box below. So I'm going to go ahead and attune to you guys' energies and to spirit. So Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for Virgos, please, Spirit. Please give me the ability to interpret these messages for them clearly and concisely. Things that will uplift them, things that will assist them in their overall evolution and growth in the year of 2019. Messages that will give them optimism as well as hope going into this year, Spirit. And I thank you in advance for those clear and direct messages because I know you're good for it, because you always are. Thank you, Spirit. So let's see what is going on with my fellow earth signs, my wonderful Virgos. Let's see. And then after we look at your energies, we're going to pick a spiritual message for you guys, aka a meditative mantra message to lead you guys into 2019. All right. We have our central, our challenge, or our catalytic, still haven't looked that word up, spiritual lesson. We have our subconscious influence and what is coming into our awareness this year. So the central spiritual lesson for my Virgos is the Sun card. Being fully aware, fully conscious, fully present in your knowingness. I made that up. This is challenged by the Magician. So the first thing that I'm hearing for Virgos is there may be different methods that you guys have utilized in the past to manifest, right? Like the laws of attraction and things of the sort. But feeling, or even just prayer, but not quite understanding why it is that which you hope for doesn't always come to pass, or at least not in alignment with what you want. So it's kind of like trying to manifest your dream job, but instead you get a job, right? For others, it may be manifesting your dream job and not getting anything, right? But the key is what you guys are going to be coming into the awareness of this year is what it really means to manifest in your highest good, right? And a lot of that has to do with unraveling intentions, unraveling the motivations behind that intent of what is it that you're really trying to get accomplished here and why. So this year, these things are going to be coming very clear to you guys. And at the end of it, which is going to be beautiful, is with you being aware and being conscious and your motivations behind the intentions that you have, right? And you being able to, I don't want to say instantaneously manifest, but getting more privy to the magic behind manifestation or attracting things that are in your highest good, or things that are vibrating at the same frequency that you are, right? Our subconscious influence is the Fool, right? So a lot of things that you guys face this year is gonna always bring you back to taking chances. Why am I thinking of Miss Frizzle? Taking chances, getting messy, and making mistakes. I had to throw that in there. But it's more or less, it's going to bring you back to, and I feel like it's going to be like a lot of shocking situations. It's like if you guys, I'm not going to say if, but I mean, as you guys attune to this frequency, right? Which is intricately related to the, inner child, authentic self, you reborn, renewed, all of that good stuff, you in your highest form. The more that you attune to this and begin to identify yourself as this, the more that, like, your higher self becomes real and clear and true to you, right? There's going to be different instances that you guys encounter throughout 2019 that's going to remind you and reawaken you to the childlike wonder, right? And I said that earlier to someone. I said, being bright-eyed, bushy-tailed with, retinas filled with wonder. You know what I mean? So the different things you guys encounter that are going to be positive, mind you, is going to open you up to a belief or a state of being that you guys forgot a long time ago. And it's the power of possibilities. So there's going to be a lot of situations you guys encounter this year that are seemingly impossible. And it doesn't really matter one way or the other. If you believe, per se. So it's kind of like one of those things where your dream job is posted and you go apply for it. And you're not like, oh, I'm standing in faith, or I decree and declare this is my job, or, I'm seeing myself sitting at the desk and things of the sort. Even if you never did any of those things, if you were like, let me just humor myself and apply for this job, it's like you getting it and being stunned at the fact of like, wait a minute, like I did not, clean up my resume to perfection. I did not prep for this interview. It's like I literally applied for the job and they're calling me and telling me that I have it, right? And it's like that situation within itself would be so like stunning in a sense, to where it's those little instances that Spirit is using as a chisel to reawaken you to that childhood wonder that says that anything is possible, right? Because the energy that I'm sensing is, as Virgo has grown older, right? And you don't have to be super old. You could be like in your 20s, But as you guys have, begin adulting, so to speak, it's almost as if you got thrust into and trapped within the practical world. So the part of you that had these high vision dreams and all of these wonderful visions for your life and creative projects and ideas, books you wanted to write, documentaries you wanted to do, all of these things were kind of drowned out by the practicality and responsibilities of adulthood, right? And as time began to pass, you guys have kind of settled into this place where you feel as if you have been introduced to your lot in life. Not saying that you're not making the best of it. You're just, this is where I am. I'm making the most of it. I'm enjoying life every day. But that inner child, that, whimsical part of you that still believes in fairy tales, that part of you has kind of been drowned out and silenced for a very long time. So 2019 is going to be a year for Virgo where you're reintroduced to your inner child, in so many words. You're reintroduced to fun. You're reintroduced to spontaneity. You're reintroduced into believing in miracles, or, that the impossible is actually possible. Why? Because I'm possible. I wanted to feel like a motivational speaker. So what's coming into your awareness is the Devil card. So the source of this, and I guess the connection you would say that you guys are going to make somewhere between the middle of the year, and some of you it may be already, but somewhere between the middle of the year and some of you towards the ending of the year, is going to be the realization of this dissension that happened within yourself, right? Because this inner child portion of yourself is that part of yourself that is connected to spirit, right? Not to say that that would be really funny if that were the case, but not to say that your higher self is a little kid. I think that would be actually really dope, of the higher self being like a little kid that knows more than the adult you knows. That would just be gangster. BTW. But anyway, but it's that part of you that innocence, like the fool possesses, right? It's that unwavering trust in spirit, in the possibilities that spirit can unfold that are in alignment with love and your highest good, of course. But you seeing the moment when you separated from that, the moment when you stop believing in miracles, the moment when you stop believing in fairy tales, and more often than not, for a lot of us, it's usually responsibility on the easier side. On the darker side, it's disappointment. It's those times in our life where a lot of people fall away from their faith, right? It's those times where if you were raised in a religious upbringing, right? The only two that I'm extra familiar with is Catholicism and Protestant Christianity. But say that you were raised that if you did X, Y, Z, right? So if you went through your sacraments, if you got confirmed and you prayed your rosary every day and a novena every 3 months, or, you know, if you accepted Jesus Christ and, you know, only asked for things that were in the will and so on and so forth, or if you didn't do, I know if you followed the 10 commandments, I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there. But if you followed this regimen of whatever your belief system said you were to do, and you did all of those things, right? And you prayed to God, or you were told that if you prayed to God, God always answers your prayers. And there was a time in your life when you prayed to God to come through, and it appeared as if God did not come through, and you were disappointed. It's kind of a situation like that on the heavier side, right? Where you had trust, you had faith, you had belief, you believed in miracles, you believed in possibilities. And it's almost as if that faith was dashed because, you know, at your hour of need, it's feeling as if someone, or, you know, the all, God itself, didn't show up. And in that moment was when you descended into the everyday 3D reality. And what you saw is what you got. Like, what you see is what you get. This is life. You know what I mean? It's like, if I need money, I'm not praying for a miracle. I'm just going to go get a second job. You know what I mean? Not to imply that if you need money that you should just pray for a miracle. Because we got to look at why it is you don't have money in the first place. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, but this is the place where that separation happened. And I would even infer that since this dissension within the self has happened, a lot of you are probably asking questions like, you know, what am I doing? Or 5 years have passed, I'm still here. I don't know why I don't have to get up and go. Or I don't know what I'm doing with my life, blah, blah, blah. Like a myriad of different things. Just feeling kind of confused. You may be going through the motions and be successful in the exterior sense of having a job, paying your bills, taking care of your family, so on and so forth, or in school, you know, going to class, passing your exams, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? You're doing those things, but it's still, it's like a vacancy. It's like a desire for something more, like something that sets your soul on fire, like purpose and meaning, the thing that, you know, you're excited to get out of bed every morning, right? Now, that vacancy is directly correlated to the moment that that separation happened between you and your higher self, right? So all of 2019 is all about bringing Virgo home to the inner temple, to the heart space, to the self. It's reacquainting you with your higher self or your authentic self, that spiritual part of yourself that is that igniting fire, right? So if we think about wands cards and the tarot, and with them being about spirit, energy, motivation, things of the sort, it's like that fire was snuffed out, but this year it will be reignited. And by the end of 2019, Virgo is going to be in rare form. You guys will have that glimmer in your eye, in that optimism, within reason, because we're not talking about jumping off of cliffs literally and things, but it's going to be that belief again in possibilities. It's just the thought that I'm not resigned to a fate that's already determined for me. So especially for those of you who aren't happy or content with the state that you are in life, but you're not really sure what direction to go in, or if you have 1,000 things that you feel like you should or could do, the more attuned you get to yourself, the more clear your path becomes. And whatever that vehicle is that leads you to your purpose, because like when I say purpose isn't a static state. Your purpose is something that's ever unfolding to you. It's less about, a job title or, specialization. It's more about what you're being, right? Because I always say if you're curious about your purpose, it's literally something that you've unknowingly been doing your entire life. But it's something that's so second nature to you that it's very easy to overlook. But this year, those gifts and those talents that you have that are kind of hidden under the surface are going to become very clear, as well as the vehicle that you could pack all of those gifts into that'll allow you to manifest your purpose, right? Your soul mission and things of the sort. But it's more or less bringing you guys full circle. So even if we go back to the beginning of the reading when we talked about how you guys were trying to manifest different things in your life, even by the end of this year or throughout the year, it'll start to be clear to you why things didn't work out before, right? So this is really a year of reintroducing yourself to yourself and reintegration of the self. True freedom. So Spirit, what spiritual message do we have for Virgos for 2019? Their meditative mantra and what's not or whatever. What does Virgo need to know going into 2019, Spirit? Any day now, Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Virgo's sitting up here waiting like, where this girl at with this card? All right. Merry Christmas. All righty. Let's see. And feel free to write this down because I've been telling everyone that with these little meditative mantras, it's something that you can meditate on and Spirit will continue to unfold it to you. Or something you can revisit later on, just like this video. Anywho, oh, someone's got this before too. 2 people got this before. I understand your fatigue. I know you are tired of the struggle. Yet I tell you this, when you follow me, the struggle disappears. Live in your God space, and the events become blessings, one and all. That's perfect. Yes, man, the Sun card is your God space. That is universal flow, being in alignment with the inner child, the divine inner child, so to speak. And it's like, almost going on autopilot, co-creating with spirit, and everything it is that you manifest is in alignment with your highest good, because the fuel behind it, the motivation, is all, and I feel like I've said this 1,000 times before, is the highest frequency of all, that of which is love. That's been your reading, Virgo. This is so dope, man. I love these. Like, I literally love how each and every one of these has come out, because they're so positive and so motivational. I mean, I can't speak for you because I'm not Virgo, but this is so real, man. It's like, this is almost like the cornerstone. Each one of these readings is like the cornerstone for each sign to build on as the year goes out. But like I said to the two other signs that had this card, that fatigue and that tiredness comes from, especially in Virgo's case, is that disconnection with the self. It's like that internal spiritual well that always replenishes you when you're exhausted, that thing that keeps you going. So even when your physical body is tired, it's like that drive, that purpose, that meaning, that's what gets you up in the morning. But the beautiful thing about that is you guys, as a collective, are going to face that head on this year, right? And like I said, it's going to be so positive. Like, shocking things are going to occur where you're literally going to have no choice but to believe, because things will be that magnanimous and unexplainable that's coming into Virgo's life this year. Be sure to hit me up when those things happen so I could be like, what? For real? But anyway, Virgo, that's been your 2019. What is it that I'm calling it now? I'm changing the name again. Soul Scope? Sounds better. But anyway, stay tuned, because you guys' January reads are coming up next. I love your face. Deuces.